This is the front wheel from my Baby Jogger City Mini, and today we're going to take off the wheels, take apart the lower end of the front fork, and show you how to replace parts if any parts on this need to be replaced. Parts that might need to be replaced are one of the wheels. Because this wheel does not have any ball bearings, there is a plastic shaft where the axle runs through, and this can be widened over time, so you might need to replace one or both of the wheels. The axle itself can of course be bent, and this area of the front fork also has to do with the suspension of the front wheel, which we'll show as we get to it. So what you're going to want to do is remove these caps on the side. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver or something similar, and there's a small divot on the side of the cap. You're just going to want to slide your flat thing in and pop off these caps on both sides. On one side you'll see the head of the axle, and on the other will be this fancy locking pin. You can use your flathead screwdriver, something like that, slide it here into the loop of the locking pin and just slide it off. It's really just a small piece of thick wire that's been bent. Now we can remove the actual axle. You're going to then push it towards the other side, and we're going to pull it out. There's one wheel. Here's the other. What I'm pushing in here as I do this is the bottom part of the suspension. If you don't do that, it's harder to remove the axle, and this will just pop out and fly somewhere, which is okay, I suppose. Just find it afterwards. But this gives the wheel a little bit of suspension, and when you're putting the wheel back together, you're going to want to press this in so that the hole lines up here. You can see there would be the suspension. So parts of the suspension might be damaged, need to be switched out. The axles might be damaged, and in particular this shaft where the axle goes through might have widened as a result of use and so on, in which case you might need to replace the wheel, or I suppose you could pry out these plastic pieces. I'm going to now show how to reassemble this wheel. There are 4 washers, one right under the head, 2 here that go between the wheels and the central element, and a final washer, there it is, that goes right under the locking pin. So first washer is in place on the axle, and we're going to slide it in to the side of the wheel, place the second washer in place, and then we're going to put the fork on, pressing this in again so that you can slide it through. And one more washer, the last wheel, the last washer, and the locking pin, which you just slide back into place. Easier said than done. There we go. And now it has been locked back into place. Then you're just going to want to replace these caps. And this is a bit fiddly with this wheel because you can't just put it on its side. It'll push upwards and make it harder to lock into place. You generally have to kind of hold it up, and you're just going to push in on the sides until you get it to snap. Elbow grease pops it in place. You'll hear it kind of pop as it gets in there. There we go. And now it has been reassembled. So in any case, that's how you take apart that front wheel of a Baby Jogger City Mini. We hope this video has been helpful. If it has been, we ask you to subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. Thank you.